Today I'm going to show you the solo sections of Linus and Lucy. So if you have this book, you'll notice that it doesn't sound very good if you try to play what's written. And they only do one solo, really the second solo. So I'm going to go through both solos, what Vince Guaraldi does there, and some strategies. So what they've done, if you look at the book, is really they transcribed the bass player and the piano player, and it's hard to do both. So I have a much simpler way for you to learn this that sounds pretty good. So let's get into it. Alright, so I put the music up. Those are the chord changes. It's also in the book, so if you want to look at the book there. So let's go through the first solo, and the chord changes are the same. Let's go through the changes first. Really, it's a bunch of dominant chords. So it starts off with E dominant, 9, and we're going to do it with this voicing. 3rd, 7th, 9th. And then we're going to do all those chords in that same voicing. That's pretty close to what Vince Guaraldi does. Okay, so E, and then E dominant, and then we're going to go down by whole step, D flat, and then C. And then once we get to C, it's one chord per change. So C, and then we're going to go up by half step, skip D, you're going to like shoot past it, and then you're going to come back to E flat. So I say shoot past it because the second time you go through, he actually does all of them. So let's keep going. E flat, D flat, C. And now we're going to go up by half step. C, D flat, D, E flat, and then here we go. So that's the chord changes for both solos, is that progression. So I would get comfortable playing this 3rd, 7th, 9th. These are called rootless voicings in the left hand. And don't get lost. All right, play it through with the metronome. We could do that, but do that on your own. Practice with the metronome. Here, I'll show you what it's like. I won't go through the whole thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat for 2. D flat for 2. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot past. E flat for 2. And so forth. Okay, so that's at about 135. That's pretty close performance tempo. Okay, so then the thing to add. Let's go through the first solo. So what he does, pretty simple the first time. Go listen to it. The first time he does the solo, it's just he's playing these. Okay, so what is he doing there? It's really just the chord you're on, play it in like second inversion. And then, it's kind of Vince Guaraldi-ism, is the 4th note of the chord. Right, if you're in E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th and the 3rd. And then you can just outline those C chords. So again. Okay, and then once he does that, and then we're just going to outline the chords here. And then once he gets to E flat again, it goes back to... So it's kind of a crunch there. Even though we go to E, we don't go... He stays on E flat over E. So it kind of tension resolves. Okay, so that's the first solo, is basically just that. Hitting those chords, and I think it's the easier of the two solos, and not the one written in the book. The second solo... Okay, so what is he doing there? That's more kind of classic single line improvisation jazz stuff. So he's outlining the chords. He's making melodies just on chord tones. So he's not doing anything that fancy. That's like classic blues stuff. Okay, over the C chord. And then D flat. I didn't play this lick that he does there. Okay, so kind of a classic lick there over D flat. And then the second time. So I went kind of fast. So take it slow, take it slow, take it with metronome, and come up with something simple. Let's go a little slower here. So after you can do just left hand, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Add just these chords. So do the first solo, which isn't written at least in this Hal Leonard book. 2. Go to D flat. So that's pretty simple. Get comfortable going around in these chords just in that inversion. And then as you're comfortable, add those. So that's the first solo. The next solo, and get comfortable doing basically that, but break it up now. So I'm just making up a simple solo. It's not exactly what he does, but it's pretty close. Once you're comfortable with that, then you can start to go into some of the other things he does. So on the C chord, do this lick. Okay, and then on the D flat. Yeah, that's another Giraldi-ism, is down that E flat. Glide up to the third there, and then you're back home free. So hopefully that helps. I've already done another video on this. I just wanted to go in a little more detail on both solos, the two solos, and kind of how to approach it, put the chords up on the screen, and hopefully that helps you figure out these solos in Linus and Lucy. So have fun with it.